Can't hear the theme song, but boosh. No audio, but we got it. Okay.
Love it.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to all of our attendees tuning in from around the world. Today's Zoomcast of Invisible Women in Sport is an Institute for Sport and Social Justice production. I am Taylor Middleton, and our producer is Garnett Overby. All guests will be muted during this production, but I encourage you to use the chat feature to ask questions or leave a comment. We will reserve time near the end to answer a few questions. Without further ado, I would like to welcome our host, Tolu Omokore.
Yeah, Tolu, oh my God, I love you. Thank you, y'all. Stop. Well, welcome to episode 10 of Invisible Women in Sports. I'm your host, Tolu Omokore. Today, I'm joined by the lovely Darrice Griffin, Deputy Director of Administration at the University of Georgia. Welcome. So excited to have you on. All right, let's see. So, Darrice, I know you're competitive. You know, you were a student athlete. So, in honor of our 10th episode, we wanted to change it up a little bit, do something fun here. So are you familiar of rapid fire?
I am.
Rapid fire. All right, everyone. If you guys don't know about rapid fire, it's like I'm talking fast and she has to just give me answers. No hesitation, not thinking about it. Just give me the answers, okay? And I'm gonna time you. I'm gonna do 20 seconds. Let's see if we can do this in 20 seconds, y'all.
Let's bring it on, Tolu.
All right, everyone. I will be talking fast, so try to catch up. 20 seconds. And go. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Window or window or Okay. We're gonna bring it back.
Tolu, you told me to get my mind right and to get ready because you were bringing heat. Come on now.
You made me nervous. Okay, all right. And go. Texas or Georgia?
Georgia.
Call or text?
Call.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Curly or straight?
Curly.
Favorite color?
Black.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince.
Dallas Wings or LA Sparks?
Dallas Wings.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Maya Moore or Candace Parker?
Maya Moore.
All right, that's all I had. The time was good.
Both. That was tough. Both. That was tough.
Woo, my God, you did well. Sorry for the mess up, everyone. You said both though, Maya Moore and Candace Parker?
I know, that was a tough one. Both. I love both.
No, I had to
both
get
elite and excellent in their own regard.
Yeah, you're right. So now we got that out the way. Let's get into some questions now.
Let's do it.
So, you were a Beastie student athlete, basketball player back then. So let me just go through a little bit of the awards you earned. Arthur Ashe Sports Scholar in 2007. 4-time recipient of the Texas Tech Student Athlete Merit Award. 2-time Academic All Big 12 Conference honoree. 2004 Gatorade Player of the Year in Texas. All Texas first team selection and McDonald's All-American. Dang, you was fire. You know, I really wish I could see you play back then, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well, I will lead with this. Thank you for those kind remarks and acknowledgments. To everyone on this call, thank you for dialing in. I'm watching people patch in and seeing photos and reading names. And I'm thinking, can we open up the floor? Because this should be like a conversation with all these brilliant minds that are joining us today, some former colleagues that, so, but I'll lead with a debt of gratitude and a thank you for having me, hosting me, and giving me this opportunity to share the space with you. As far as the athletics piece, it feels like that was so long ago, and I qualify everything now by saying that was when I had cartilage in both of my knees, which was short-lived given the injuries that I sustained. But yes, I am very fortunate to have the the coaches and the teammates that I had who propped me up and gave me an opportunity to do some special things via the game that I love, which is basketball.
Yeah. Wow. So every basketball player, not even a basketball player, every student athlete had their favorite moment, basketball moment. Could you share your basketball moment?
Yeah, one moment, it's really hard for me to pinpoint one moment. And I say that because I had the privilege and honor of competing for my mother. She was my high school coach, and then competing with my younger sister, Teddy. And so I just, the moments that I look back on now that I cherish so much were the practices and running barnyards and the struggle and preparation for competition and getting to kind of, shed sweat and blood and tears with my loved ones. So, that's kind of a general response. If I had to dial it into one moment, it's the first basket I made as a student athlete there at Texas Tech. Dream institution. I set a goal very early to compete there and to compete for Marcia Sharp, who also coached my mother. So moment, that first basket, I remember it like it was yesterday, and I caught my mom's eye and she was like, "You did it, you made it, let's do it."
Wow.
I guess if I had to narrow it down to one moment per the question, I'd say that.
That's amazing. So with being a student athlete, it's tough. It takes a lot on your body, your mind, but it was all worth it. It was worth it for me at least. So with that saying, what got you through your 4 years at Texas Tech? Like, what were your inspirations? Who did you do it for?
Yeah, totally. For all of us who serve in college athletics, I think that we know, we see, and we live the demands that are on student athletes, right? At any level, at any institution, you're challenged physically and mentally and emotionally daily as you pursue, excellence in competition and in the classroom, most importantly. For me, my studying force, my system was my family. So I talked about competing with my sister in high school. This is crazy, I know, but I also competed with my sister on my team in college. And so, given some of the trials and the turbulent experiences I had as a student athlete due to some injuries, I don't think I'm able to press on and persevere and overcome if it were not for my loved ones and my teammates.
Wow.
They were clutch.
Yes, I understand that. I shared with you yesterday when we did our pre-Zoom cast meeting. I was saying when I tore my ACL my junior year, my teammates was there. My grandma flew all the way from Maryland to come take care of me. So I do understand the importance of that sisterhood, the teammates, the coaches. So I actually miss it. I miss it. Oh my God. I'm not going to do it. All right. With that saying, this is recorded. And your family's going to see this. Who do you think was the best player between your mom, who played at Texas Tech from 1990 to 92, or your sister, who played 2005 to 08 season?
Yeah, Tolu, it's not who do I think, it's who do I know. And I would say myself. I would say myself. I may have just launched a battle with my family there, but I would say myself.
And it's funny, I didn't even put you in that question. I said your mom is your sister. You said yourself.
I know.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to your career. So can you share with us how your day-to-day looks like?
Yeah, I'm sure many on this call can attest, especially for those in college athletics. No 2 days look the same. Every day is different. I do my best by budgeting my calendar and trying to be organized and prepared. But given the times, especially now, as we reckon with, COVID-19 realities, our social climate, economic challenges, it's troubleshooting every day and trauma management, response management every day. So no two days look the same. If I had to say what I focus on every day is our people and making sure that I make connections and I listen and I try to manage up with my colleagues and our boss to make sure that no one is surprised by anything. If I have to summarize our days, just making sure that we stay ahead of as much as we can. My specific responsibilities are in the areas of human resources. I'm also our Deputy Title IX coordinator. And I serve as a sport facilitator of a number of our sports. And so I have specific responsibilities that I have to focus on daily in those areas, but it looks very different every single day, Tolu, especially in today's climate.
Oh yeah, for sure. So with that saying, what's your favorite part of the job?
The people. For me personally, I wanted to continue serving in college athletics because I felt like my experience shaped me and molded me and prepared me for my professional career in ways that I don't think you can replicate outside of the world of sports. And so, and that's largely due to the people that I had connections with, that I competed with, that I competed for. And so for me, it's the people. It's our athletes, our staff, our coaches, prospective student athletes, and getting to know them and what they're interested in, and what they're considering in their decision making. It's the people.
Wow. Okay, so thank you for sharing that. So let's move on to challenges. With everything going on, from racial injustice, the pandemic, the election coming up, what are some things you are doing to support all the student athletes?
Yeah, I think for us, we've tried, and we don't have all the answers, right? Glass house, it's not a science to this, it's more of an art. And so bear with me and understand that we're taking it one day at a time. But we have focused on trying to create safe spaces for dialogue and for expression and for sharing and for venting. And then from those safe spaces, kind of carving out and creating pathways for positive action. So once we've been able to talk about it and establish that space rather frequently now, given the times, it's putting plans in motion to act. For us in athletics, especially, we're doers. Tell us what we need to do, or let's set a plan and follow the plan or the course of action to hopefully affect change. So.
Thank you for sharing. So, Darrice, I have two more questions because I know you said you wanted it to be conversational. We have a lot of people on here. So I'm saying that so y'all can get y'all questions ready. So let's get the questions going and drop it in the chat, because Darrice said she wanted to be more conversational with everybody. So start going ahead and drop it. I got you. So start going ahead and putting your questions in there. So, as a Black woman, what are some challenges you faced in your personal career?
It's balancing what we continue to witness and see regarding inequity and injustice in our country, and taking all that in, consuming it, working to process and reconcile my own personal emotions, given everything that we're facing right now as a country, reckoning with as a country, trying to balance the management of my own emotions regarding everything, but yet still show up every day for our students and staff who need us as administrators and leaders and teammates to show up every day for them and to help us move plans of actions forward. So the challenge is being there for myself as I process, and being there for my friends and family who are also wrestling with their emotions right now, and doing that while showing up and being the consummate professional and servant leader for our staff.
Wow, that's amazing. So before we go ahead and transition to the Q&A, and I'll bring Taylor in, is there any last minute advice that you may have for everyone who's watching, whether that's the females out there or the women out there? Say hey. All right. And the males, we got some males watching too. So are there any advice that you'd like to give?
Yeah, definitely want to be inclusive. I see diversity here on this call. I would say my answer today is very different than what my answer 6 months or a year ago would have been today. And I just heard this recently, so I'm trying to heed to this myself, but it's the importance of taking a mental health break. We are in very historic and trying and turbulent times. And as leaders, really having to function in other duties as assigned space as we navigate new and unique challenges. And because of that, I think it's really, really important that you strategically take mental health breaks. So you can't pour into someone else. You're not investing in yourself, your mind, your emotions, your spirit, your even physically. So we cannot be what we want to be or need to be for other people if we're not taking care of ourselves. And I think
that's right.
It's really important to take those mental health breaks for yourself.
That's right. I appreciate that. Well, thank you so much for talking with me and everyone else who's listening. So we are about to go into the Q&A. We got some questions for you. So now Taylor will go ahead and read that to you.
All right, so Darrice from Casey Irwin, she says, as you say, you're focused on the people, making connections and supporting student athletes every day. How are you taking care of yourself during this challenging time?
That's a really good question, Casey. It is so good to see you. Casey and I were colleagues and teammates at Columbia University in the city.
Oh, hi, Casey.
This is my first time seeing her in a really long time. It absolutely making my day. So it's so good to see you, Casey. I'm still working on it, Casey. It's a couple of things. I will tell you, I'm really proud of myself because I don't think I've ever done this. We had some colleagues who were trying to set up some meetings tomorrow, and I said, I can't. I'm taking a mental health day.
That's right.
I mean, you got to follow proper channels and make sure my boss is good. But, my response was, hey, I can't lock this in on my calendar. Mental health day. So I'm not there, but that's one example of what I'm trying to practice as I preach it now. Another thing, Casey, just very, very strategic and measured with what I consume. I'm actively seeking the truth and actively seeking information that serves as a source of inspiration because given the diverse ways that we consume information and how much information we can consume in a short amount of time, it's overwhelming for me. And so I'm very, very measured in what I consume, when I consume it, and how I consume it as I try to educate myself, inform myself, and stay ahead of what's going on in our country and in the world of college athletics. Very, very strategic about what I consume nowadays.
Wow, that's true.
All right. Our next question is from Craig Thompson.
Whoa, yeah.
It says, how have lessons you have learned as a player helped you mentor young athletes during this time when there is limited practicing and playing during a global pandemic and social unrest in the country?
Yeah, really good question. I think one of the things we've talked about is what can come of this situation, what can come of the challenges that we face, right? And so with so many unknowns and so many uncertainties and, the reeling and reckoning from isolation and separation, I really do try to approach conversations saying that there is a reason for this season. And it's our responsibility as individuals to figure that out and try to be better for ourselves and the people around us because of everything that we face. And usually one of my kind of go-tos, and our student athletes are probably tired of it, but I harken back to my own student athlete experience. I had bold goals. And I thought I was going to do some great things with my teammates there at Texas Tech in pursuit of Big 12 championships, national championship runs, and due to a string of unfortunate injuries and coaching changes, didn't accomplish any of those goals. But I made a decision just due to counsel and loved ones, that I was going to use that opportunity and the adversity and the challenges I faced to prepare me for life after. And so for like our volleyball women, there's a time where you don't know if you're going to be competing this year. You know what? That is well beyond all of our control. And if you don't get this season, guess what? You're going to have a story to tell, and you're going to be able to channel the heartache and the frustration and the pain and, all the negative emotions that you may have because of that. You can channel all of that into getting in the hot pursuit of your professional career. So it's like, how do you use a situation and leverage a situation to be a better you?
Wow. Thank you for sharing that.
It's my 2 cents.
Thank you. The next thing we have is from our good guy, Matt. He asked if you can give some advice on how you manage having a high stress job and how people in those kinds of jobs need to make sure to take care of themselves while they're busy taking care of others.
Good question, Matt.
Yeah, I try to approach every day with a grateful heart. I have some privileges today, whether it's my health or my job, that I know not a lot of people in this country have right now. And because of that, I think it's a privilege and a blessing to be able to try to navigate the challenges that we face in our industry today. And so I lead with gratitude. I lead with humility. One thing I've learned in this season is that it is okay to say, I don't know right now. I'll get back to you on that. This is what I know. This is what I don't know. This is what we're trying to accomplish. It's just, I think for that question, I try to just approach it with a grateful heart. I'm thankful that I get to try to lead in these times, because we have a lot of colleagues and peers across the country who are talented and work just as hard, who don't have the same opportunities that, I have right now, given the fact that I still have employment.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Ashley Smith, and she says, what would be your advice for a young professional who is 2 months into a new role and now a part of a senior staff?
Ooh.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I hope that, in keeping with the gratitude piece, I hope there's gratitude, because can be an incredible opportunity, an incredible learning experience. So, kudos to whomever has been thrust in that leadership opportunity. Listening is key. It's quite similar to my professional pathway. Former AD at Columbia University, Dr. Diane Murphy, she pulled me up in a chair to the table well before I was ready, well before I had experience to warrant that type of leadership opportunity. And in my experience, based on my lessons learned in some of the knowledge that was shared with me, is that it is important to listen and seek to understand before you seek to be understood, and really take on this commitment that no job is too small. Yes, I may sit at the table, I may be on senior staff now or executive staff, or however the department may classify or define the categories organizationally speaking, but no matter where you're at in an organization, if you are a good teammate and willing to serve and do what you need to do to help the organization move forward, I find that, from there, hopefully more promotion opportunities, and an acknowledgement of your performance will follow shortly thereafter.
Thank you, Ashley, for that question.
So listening is key. I just want to make sure, because I kind of did. I did that administrative gibberish thing that I often do. You guys have to say. The most important thing in that is it's important to listen. listen.
Our next question is from Craig Thompson again. It is, what are some plans and protocols from this unique time that have been implemented you see staying going forward and after the pandemic is over?
Ooh, where do I begin? My goodness, that's a fantastic question.
Leave it to Craig.
Yeah, Craig is on it right now. I'm not going to go down the path of like specifics, but what I will tell you is that, you know, even here at Georgia, we're having conversations daily about efficiencies and being effective. And, you know, we have some strict budget restrictions right now. And basically kind of the question, my CFO, I thought I saw her on here, Stephanie Ransom is fantastic. And I tell you what, those in the business office in this season, I think, and I pray about you all the time because the challenges you face as business leaders in college athletics, specifically right now in any industry, is unprecedented. But sorry for digressing. So the point I'm making is we ask one question for every dollar that we're spending in the athletic association. And we say, is this mission critical? Is this mission critical, and does it impact the student athlete experience? And, you know, I'd like to say we always ask those questions, but just being real, we didn't. And we definitely didn't analyze and assess the way into the depths that we do now. I mean, we're assessing, every dollar that we spend has to be approved. And we lead with the question, is this mission critical? And so for us, I think that will inform, you know, our business operations, our business strategies moving forward. I think that's here to stay for us. Again, I think there was a commitment to that before, but COVID-19 has amplified the discussion around that question as it relates to our spend and our policies and our procedures moving forward.
The next thing we have is from Matt, and he was asking if you could touch upon the importance of learning the economic side of athletics, normally what often is not taught in school.
Yeah. I had a former colleague say, if you want to advance in college athletics, you want to be close to the money. So you're either funds or you're helping to strategically manage funds. And those are two pathways for promotion in this industry. Not the only two, but two established pathways for sure. I think it's important. I think there are a couple of general areas that are really important for all of us looking to advance our careers and expand our the scope of our responsibilities in college athletics. And I think it's in the area of compliance. So you practice compliance every day, and no matter the scope of your responsibilities, you practice sound budget management, no matter what unit you're in, or how close you are to the budget office, and then recruiting. So those things, to be compliant, be efficient and economical and with the use of funds, and then you know, we should always be working to conduct ourselves in a way where we're recruiting either prospective students, staff, or fans, friends, and fans. So yes, it's important.
For our last question, it's from Sarah Carver Mound. I hope I said her last name right. I'm sorry if I just butchered that, but she's from Brown University. And she said, are there any professional development resources that have helped you and or that you would recommend?
Yeah, a lot. I'll start with just the people, the networks that I've established. I will tell you, in this season, I don't navigate this season and what we've been through and what we face if it were not for the people in college athletics who have really become friends and family in a lot of ways. People as like my go-to for professional and personal development. Obviously, there's organizations like this one that we're all engaged in right now, Sport and Social Justice, which serves as great, a great space for professional development, especially as it pertains to advancing the conversation around diversity and equity and inclusion for all in our industry. And then we, going back to efficiencies and being more budget conscious now than probably ever before, I'll tell you, we've started to lean on faculty experts on our campus and some of our central HR units. There's a real hunger and desire and appetite for professional development. And in this, given our new budget realities, we just started partnering with experts on campus in diverse fields to pour into our leadership team and to pour into our staff. So we implement, per our AD's directive, something called community conversations. So once a month we have Zoom conversations. We offer one in the morning and one in the afternoon to try to capture, different audiences within our staff. And one of the things we're finding, as we're trying to build the agendas and the space for dialogue and exchange, is that we have brilliant minds on our college campuses. And access to those individuals, and given our new living learning environment, we find that they're all willing to kind of just jump on a Zoom with us and pour into our staff and debate and discuss with us. So that's kind of a recent thing for us, but something that we hope to continue to build upon, given the experts on our college campus community.
Wow, thank you for sharing. Thank you for all the questions that was asked. Okay. Rachel came in a little bit late on this one, but I'll slide in this question for you. Rachel.
I know, and she's coming. I saw it pop up, so she's coming in big on.
You owe me one.
Touched it, Rachel.
You owe me one, Rachel. But okay, the question is, do you see the college athletics landscape changing drastically after this? Example, pay structure, caps, conference alignments, etc.
Yes. I mean, we've already started to feel the impact and the force of what I think will be transformational change for our industry. We were there in that space before we even faced COVID-19 and in this reckoning that we're now also trying to lead through as well. So yes, I think that college athletics will forever change as a result of a number of things. Facing right now as a country and as an industry.
Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing.
I might not go any further or deeper than that, because there are some folks with a much higher pay grade level than I have that are having some very difficult conversations right now.
Right.
With the state of college athletics. So we shall see. We shall see. Let's just keep our students, all of us, at the center of everything that we do. As we navigate these turbulent times.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Darrice, for sharing your wisdom with all of us. I really do appreciate it. I hope everybody who was tuning in enjoyed this episode.
Thank you so much.
So, you're welcome. So let's go ahead.
Can't thank you enough for giving me the opportunity to fellowship with you today. Thank you.
Anytime. So now for our next episode, tune in September 17th, 2 p.m. for episode 11, where I'll be speaking with Latrice Sales, director of Jackie Joyner Kersey Foundation. So go ahead and register after. We're going to go ahead and send that link out. So follow us on all social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Y'all can follow me too on LinkedIn. My name is right there, so y'all can follow me on LinkedIn. But tune in next episode. We want to thank you all for your support for Invisible Women in Sports. We are a nonprofit organization with other programs that impact various social justice issues. So please use the QR code to support us with a financial gift as we continue to change lives through the power of sports. So go ahead and whip that phone out and scan that QR code. Thank you. Special thanks again, Darrice Griffin. I'm thankful for your time. I am your host, Total Love Belmacora, our producer, Garnett L. Overby III, our advising consultants. We got Matt Edelson, Spencer Barnes, Craig Thompson, Mr. Asking All This Tough Questions, and our special and new addition, Taylor Middleton. Special thank you to all of the organizations that registered. Again, I saw a lot of new faces, so I'm pretty excited. Thank you for the support. If you missed any episodes and want to tune in for an episode you missed, we're on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, we're on all of it. So add us, look it up, and add us again. Again, September 17th, 2 p.m. for episode 11, Latrice Sales. Follow us at Institute SSJ. There we go. Woo! That was supposed to be Beyonce. I don't know how she do it. But yes, I'm your host. Tune in next time. Mwah. Bye, you guys.